could come by. Hey, today we're going to be out here in the Dink Shop. We're working on a piece for the table saw, a tenoning jig, and we're hoping that you join us and we'll learn along the way together. That sounds like a good way to do things. So you can see the top of my fence. I've rounded over the edges. I got those cleaned up. I don't want to get a sticker in my finger. So this is going to sit on here basically like this. We're going to pre-drill some holes. We're going to sand those holes both sides of the piece so that it's nice and smooth. Got it sanded off. This is what it looks like now that I sanded them. I did both sides. Also did a chamfer around the edges except this top edge because I want that to be flat with this piece. Got this one drilled out. Both sides. We got it sanded. And we got it smoothed off on the bottom here. I did want to show you real quick the playing cards that I normally use. Works fine if that's what you have. I did order this. This is a setup blocks. This one I got off of Amazon. If you get on there and search woodworking tools, you'll find all sorts of things. But these are setup blocks. I haven't even opened the box up yet, but I'm going to use it today because I think I want a little more accuracy than what's going to. Oh, look, we even got a little pair of gloves in there. Just opened up and see what it looks like. Oh, we got some safety glasses. We got all sorts of different sizes from real small clear up to the larger ones. We got the 1x2x3, which comes in handy. And so we're going to use one of these 30 seconds, I believe. That looks pretty good. But we're going to try these out today and see how it works on our jig. I've collected quite an assortment of screws and nails and fasteners, but we're going to want to find us some screws for this to go into. I'm going to go find one of those that's going to work and get my bottle of glue out because I do want to glue this, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I got the wood glue out. Today I'm going to be using Type Bond 3. This is an exterior grade glue. I got an assortment of different screws here. So the next thing I'm going to do is get some glue put on this and get one side of it clamped and glued together. Okay, what I decided to do is I'm going to use a 30-second setup block. I'm going to put my piece on there, and then I decide I want to raise this up just a hair off of that jig. So I got the glue and I got a clamp on each edge of this. Now we're going to go ahead and run some screws in it. Okay, I got the one side attached. I put the clamps on there. You saw those. I got the screws put in here. And while I'm doing that, I got my square out. And I want to make sure that this is square to my tabletop. So I'm going to put a couple of 45-degree blocks in here. Okay, I'm going to cut these out of some 3/4 plywood. This is some scrap that I have. I'm going to use this piece here. This is 2 3/4. And I'm going to cut a 2 45s and get 2 blocks cut out of that so that I can use those for a brace on there. Set my saw to 45, flip this over and mark our block. When you cut these short pieces off, you want to leave your saw stop all the way before you pick it up. Let it come to a stop, pick it up, and you got your piece cut, and it's not flying off into the back here somewhere. So here's my pieces. I'm going to put one on each end. I'm thinking maybe about 1.5 inches in from each side. And we'll pre-drill holes here and one here, and we'll run screws in each one of those. This is a handy little layout tool. This is made by Craig. You got different measurements you can put on here. This can actually go down here and make a square out of it. But I'm going to set that at 1.5 inches, so I got both of these blocks the same. I think I'll glue these as well. But I'm going to get the holes drilled and sand the piece because I don't want any of the burrs sticking out of it. Okay, we got those drilled out, sanded. They're ready to be installed. Find the right size of screws that we need here. Okay, we're going to try that same size of screw that we had. I'm going to put just a little bit of glue on each side here. Take my glue spreader. Get that put on there. I'll set that down in there where I like it. I'm going to slide my square up here, make sure I like that. Looks great. Oh, my. Go ahead and cut a new piece for this. It split out right here when I put that screw in, and I don't like that, so we're going to do that again. Okay, I like that better. Um, I think if you take time and if you make a mess up like I just did, splitting that out, go ahead, take it out. Let's make a new one. And I think we'll be a whole lot happier with it in the long run. All right. Oh, that's way better. I'm so glad that I did that. I want to check my square. And you can't get much better than that. Oh yeah, way better. Okay, now I got to figure out something to shim this other side up, and I'm going to get back to you here in a minute. Okay, what I decided to use were the playing cards. I got this 3/32 layout block, and I think I used 8 playing cards, and it came out real close to this. I'm going to put this on this side. Now this piece is going to go on here like so, like this. I'm going to shim that up just a hair. Okay, we got that clamped up. One more check. I want to make sure we're pretty flush here. It's not too bad. All right, now we're going to put some screws in it. Take our clamps off of there. Okay, got that done. I got a little bit of squeeze out here. I'm just going to wipe and turn this over and make sure I don't have any squeeze out in here. And I don't, so that looks good. All right. Okay, that all looks good. Next, I'm going to put on some paste wax. I'm going to put that on the top of these as well as on the inside of my jig here. This is the same wax that I used on my tabletop on my saw here. I also put some on the rails so that the fence would slide back and forth really easily. That should help that slide really good. Let's see how that works out. I got it set down on top of the on top of the fence here. We're a little snug right there, but not too bad. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I want a perpendicular board screwed to this. I'm not going to glue that particular one, but I may want to at some point in time because it gets cut up down on the bottom to take that off and replace it. So I'm just going to kind of get a measurement here. I'm going to say about 1.5 inches or whatever that piece of scrap is probably. I'm going to make it that 14 inches high, just like this piece. So I'm going to get that cut. Okay, I'm going to use this piece of scrap, and it is just a freckle under 1 3/4 of an inch. I want 14 inches. Okay, let's get this cut. We'll get them put onto that. Put it right about there. Leave your blade stop and then lift it up. That way this little piece isn't going to try to kick out in here and cause some damage. Okay. My layout at 7/8 of an inch. And then I can mark this. Get my layout tool. Set that up there. It just looks so much nicer when you have all your holes even. Makes you look like you know what you're doing. Not that I do, but I do try. I got that drilled out. I got it sanded off on both edges. I'm going to leave this open here. I'm not going to put any glue in that. I am going to put my little layout block here. I'm going to set that on there. Now I'm going to put my square up against there just to make sure that this is square to the table. The more accurate you can be now, the better your outcome is when you go to make a project. And really, that's what it's all about, is accuracy. I'm going to flash that up. Get my other clamp here. Let me take this out. I'm really impressed with those layout blocks. I really like those. Now we're just a hair off, so we're going to make some adjustments here. Bring that over just a little. Okay. That looks pretty good. I want to make sure when I put these screws in, they're not going to go through. And those may be just a little bit long. I have some shorter ones right here. Let's see how they look. Let's check this out here. That's a lot better. Double check my square. I put these countersunk pretty deep in there. I didn't want anything protruding out here to interfere with the piece that I'm cutting. All right, that looks good on that. Anyway, let's see what we got next. I'm going to try a piece on here. Got a piece up here. I can tell right away I'm going to need a set of clamps. Here's the general idea, and I'm not going to make a cut because my clamp is not where I need it to be. Turn my saw on. Now I can cut through here like this. I can pull it back. Okay, I think that's going to work well. We're going to get the shop cleaned up a little bit, and we'll see you on the next round.